Now, what I'm just making for this recipe, I already preheat the oven for 450 degrees Fahrenheit. Make sure the oven is preheated. You want to take a large cookie sheet lined with parchment paper. That way for the easy cleanup. I'm going to start with 2 cups that I'm going to be using unbleached all purpose flour. To that, I'm going to put 3 tablespoons of granulated sugar. I'm also putting 4 teaspoons of baking powder. I'm just going to get you guys for the whisk, making sure well incorporate. I'm going to be using about 1 stick. I'm going to be using salted butter. I brought it for room temperature. I don't need to put salt. If you're using unsalted butter, just put ahead, get a unsalted butter. Just put a little salt if you have unsalted butter. Let me just go with that whisk. I'm just going to break it down using with the pastry blender. I just want to make sure to get a nice resembles coarse breadcrumbs. I'm just going to break it over using the pastry blender. If you're using the food processor, you can also speed up the process. This one is really nice and well blended. You can see it doesn't get any lumps of those. I just break it over the pea size. Now I'm going to go ahead and put 1 cup of sharp or mild cheddar cheese. I'm going to be using for that. I'm just going to put it right into this one. Let me just give this to coat with the cheese. And I can see this clumps. Let me just keep breaking over here. I just tossed the cheese that I'm going to be using with the rubber spatula. I'm just going to make it a little well into the center, right into the middle. Now I already put 3/4 cup of low-fat milk that I stir in 2 1/4 teaspoons of lemon juice. That's going to make for the buttermilk. I'm just going to put it right into this one. Actually made known for the sour milk. I'm just going to give this to a stir, give it a nice soft dough. Again, I'm going to be using with the rubber spatula. Got a nice, very soft dough. I just switch it by hands. They just knead it and form it into the bowl. Just like that one. Hopefully it's gonna get really sticky. Let me just put some flour on the board. Just put it right into it. Let me just go grab a rolling pin. You want to take your dough. Here we are. You just want to gather the dough. Always remember to flour your hands. That prevents for stickiness. I'm just going to knead the dough for 5 times. And when you get that very stiff dough, to see how it turns looks like. Like I said, flour your hands, and then, like I said, just flour your hands, work it well. Oh, and you can see the cheese coming out for the dough. Just form it into a ball. Alright, just flour the pan. I'm going to roll really flatten, just about very thicken. Let me see about for the 1 inches or so. Got it for 1 inches, really thicken. Now I'm going to take 3-inch circle cutters. If you don't have, just use the glass cutter. That works better. I'm just going to cut it like I said I'm using for the circle cutter. You want to place it onto the cookie sheet lined with parchment paper that I have just already prepared. I'm going to see how many biscuits that I just made. Right, I just made 12 of that, and the other ones still have probably 1.5. Now, once you prepare onto the cookie sheet, I decided I'm going to make an egg wash to give it a little brush it. Very nice and golden brown right on top. I decided to make the egg wash that I use one egg with about a tablespoon of water or milk. You can see the egg wash that I'm just beating over here. I just put it into any size of the bowl. I'm just going to brush it right on top. I'm going to use it with the pastry blender, or actually the pastry brush. I just said for the pastry brush. You're just going to brush it right on top. It's going to be a nice and shiny look of the biscuit. After you just brush it right on top of that, you're going to put this in the oven for 12 to 15 minutes. Happens already preheated for 450 degrees. You're going to make sure it's nice and golden brown. Just keep an eye on it in the oven. I'll come back and I will show you what it looks. Right, I just brushed it right on top of that. Hopefully Emerald Lagasse is going to love those cheddar biscuits that I just made for it. In the oven for 12 to 15 minutes. I see the biscuits ready for it. Let me turn this off. I'm going to take it out of the oven. Ooh, look at that one. Once just put it on the wire rack, I just put it onto the stove. Just leave that over here. I'm just going to put it onto a wire rack to cool for probably 15 to 20 minutes before you get ready to serve. I'm just going to show you the biscuits, what it looks like. Right here you can see it on the bottom, just starts to lightly brown, and it has to be golden brown right on top. I wish you can smell the biscuits. Hopefully it has a lot of cheddar. And here is the finished cheddar biscuit that I just made with 12. Hopefully by on top of it, they didn't able to see that, but I'm just going to send him on the Facebook link or the Facebook page if I can. At the end of this video. If you're interested for more recipes, let me know in the comments below. We will always push things. You want to subscribe to my channel, click the bell to see all notifications about the new videos and the latest video. You guys see that Emerald Lagasse, you can smell the biscuit that I just made for it. Anyway, as always, thank you very much for watching.